Welcome back to coding challenge number 5. So here in this challenge we have the task from the previous challenges as well, a continuation of the dogs. Okay, and then here we have some inputs like formulas and eating. So go through all this once. So here in this challenge we have 10 tasks, and also here we have the hints, and this is the test data. So I'm not going to read all these things, but just go through once and then try to do this on your own. So pause the video and try to do this challenge on your own. So once you're done your try doing, so let's just get back to our thing here. So we'll do, so now here we'll do the challenge one. Okay, so challenge one was to loop over the array of the dogs object, and then for each of them actually calculate the recommended portion using the formula in the beginning. But remember, we need to create this without creating a array, but instead just performing some work of the dogs array. So for that we need to do is the for each method, which is the dogs dot for each of. So here comes the special part. Now we want to take the this objects here. Okay, and so each of the dog is indeed one object like this, and then we just wanted to add a new property to that. So this is basically the trick to solve this task. So basically grabbing the current object, then adding a property called rec food, and then calculate the value. For that we'll just do dog dot rec food. So here we'll just say dog dot, we need the weight, and then from the formula above here we have 0.75 into 28. Yeah, here one more bracket here, and then now what we'll do is console.log docs. So when we run this, as you can see here right now, here we got 5 values. So here we got so much value. So what we'll do here is, now what we'll do here is we'll just use here math.floor. We'll just add here one more. Okay, right now you can see here we have the perfect values. Okay, and with that we are done with the challenge one. Now let's go to challenge two. So in this task we need search or to find the dog that belongs to Sarah, and then log to the console whether the dog is eating too much or too little. Now the tricky part here is that the owner is not simply a string, but it is the array of array. So basically we want to find the dog object. Okay, so which is here this one here. Okay, Sarah, John and Leo, this one. So this is where the owner Sarah was included. So we'll just write that here. So constant uh, Sarah dog equals to dogs dot find of dog. So here we use the includes. So here which is for we are searching Sarah, right? So we'll just write that, and then we'll just console.log Sarah dog. So when I do this, see here we have exactly the called out this one which we wanted in our output. And also we need to check whether the recommended food is more or less than the current food. So let's write a string like this. So here we'll write our string console.log. So now here we write Sarah's dog eat 2 Sarah dog dot food greater than Sarah dog dot red food. So here we write much or little. So when I run this, see here, Sarah's dogs eat too much food based on the condition which we passed out here. Okay. Okay, it compares the current food and the rec food which we just created. So based on that, which it is giving here, it eats too much or too little. So with this we are done. Let's now move on to the challenge 3 here. So our task is to create an array of all the owners of the dogs that eats too much and that eats too little. So let's just create a constant owner, create owner too much. So here we'll just say dogs dot filter out the dog current food greater than dogs dot rec food. So now what we'll do here is we need to do the map function, right? So in order to get the of the owners of all things, right? So here we'll just write dog dot owners. Okay, and now we'll just console.log this owners too much. Okay, when I run this, see here we are getting here, but also whenever we are using filter and map here both. So in order to write like this, so here we can just bring out this directly. So what we'll just do is we'll use the flat map. See here, now we got the clear output here right now, but we want is to just one array with all of these owners, so not an array of arrays. So for that we use here the flat map. So we can use the flat map method to do all in one go. So flat map. So we'll just simply just create this for too little as well. And also here we'll just say and here as well we need to change the condition here. So when we run this, see here, now we got our output. So with that done, we are done with the challenge 3, and then right now we'll just go to the challenge 4. And the only goal is to log to console a nice string joining all these too much and too little. So these two, okay, into one string. So for that we'll just write the code console.log. So here we'll just say so owners too much dot join. So here we'll use the spacing, and then here we'll just specify them between the end. Okay. Dogs are eating too much. Okay, similarly we'll just create this for too little as well. So when I run this, as you can see here, we got our output perfectly fine. So with this we are done with the challenge 4 as well. We'll move on to challenge 5 right now. And in this challenge, what we want to do is to whether there is any dog that is eating exactly the amount of food that is recommended. So log to the console. So whenever you see the word any, we have to use the sum method here. So we'll just do that console.log dogs.sum of dog current food. So here we are setting this into the constraint, right? So dog dot rec food. So when I run this, see here in our condition here it is true because we are using the sum operator here. For suppose if we want to check for the every dog in our string, so let me just show you that. So when we check for every, see here it is false because this condition doesn't apply to the every dog. So we'll just put it back to the question what we just required here in this case. So right now we'll just move on to the challenge 6. So we need to log to the console whether all the dogs are eating an okay amount of food. So not exactly the same amount. So not whether the current food is exactly the same. So we'll just see our question here. So see here, eating an okay amount means that the dog's current food portion is within the range of 10% above and below the recommended portion. And also here being within a range of 10% above and below the recommended portion means current here they have given the condition here. So we'll use this condition, and basically the current food should be between the 90% and the 110% of the recommended portion. Okay, we'll do that here in this case. So we'll just say console.log dogs.every. So based on the condition above, here we are using the. So when we run this, see here it is getting false here, and so this means that not all the dogs are within the range of the state region. So they are not all eating an okay amount of food. In the next step, we'll find out which one is okay. So moving on to the challenge 7 here. Okay, and now so it is creating an so in this challenge it is creating an array that will contain all the dogs that are actually eating an okay amount of food. Now in order to calculate that using an filter method, we actually need the same condition as here, this one, in this condition as well. So the exact callback function, but instead of copying and pasting this same function here, so what we'll just do here is, so in this here itself we'll just create a, so let me just create a constant. So constant check eating okay. So here we'll just set this condition. So what we'll do here is we'll just simply copy and paste this condition here above. Okay, previously, okay, right now we can just remove this whole console.log right now. And here this condition written wrong. So here it should be this. Okay. So right now here we'll just do the console.log dogs.every of check eating. Okay. So in this condition, see here it is false, and the same condition here we'll just call out in the example 7. So here we'll just simply say constant dogs eating okay. So here we'll just use the dogs dot filter of check eating okay, and then we'll just simply console.log dogs eating okay. So when I run this, see here we are getting this output. So here we get the two dogs, right? So these two. So the one where the current food is the same to the recommended food, and the other dog is eating a little bit too little, but still within the range of the safe margin. So these two are the output, and then let's just move on to the next. And now we move on into the grouping. So now we are gonna group all the dogs into three groups. They are these groups: exact, too little, too much. So depending on whether this particular dog is exactly eating too much, too little, or the exact amount of food that was recommended. So for that we'll just go ahead and create here one more constant. Constant dogs grouped by portion. So we'll just get these all the dogs from the object here. So object dot group by of dogs, and then here we'll pass the condition here, if dog dot current food greater than dog dot rec food, then here return too much, and here we'll write else if. So here we'll write dog dot current food and then dog dot rec food. So in this case here just simply return too little, and then here else return exact. Okay, so we'll just simply console.log dogs dot, so we'll just simply console.log dogs group by portion. So when I run this, see here we are getting this array. In this here we are having the two dogs which are in the exactly too much and then too little. So here we have two dogs of too much here, which are these two, and then in too little these two, and in exact this one. Okay, so with this we are done with this challenge, and then let's just move on to the ninth coding challenge here. So in this case, some more grouping function we'll do. So what we want to do is to group the dogs by the number of the owners that have. Okay, so for that we'll just create a one more constant here, new constant. So dogs group by owners. So again we'll just get these all from the object dot group by of dogs dog. So here we'll just simply get the owners here. So we want our owners, how many owners, right? So for that we need the length as well, right? And let me just console.log this, console.log dogs group by owners. So when I run this, see here when I run this, here we are getting the owners. See here. So yeah, the key of this objects here are simply now these numbers, but let's make it a little bit easier. So what we'll just do is, so here we'll just remove this and then we'll just write it nicely. We'll just write here. So here we'll just say log dot owners dot length, and then here we'll just say owners. So when I run this here, see here we got two owners for this first one. So as you can see here, this has the length and it has two owners and then three owners. So which dog has three owners, which dog has two owners, which dog has one owner. So it is just giving us nicely now. So really with this array grouping features, it is endless to do and it's really helpful in all kind of applications. So right now we'll just move on to our final coding challenge, which is the 10th one here. So here what we need to do here is the sort the dogs array by the recommended food portion in ascending order. So what we need to do is, without the mutating the original dogs array, then we have to create the from the original array and a copy of the array. So we'll just do that. Constant dogs sorted. So here we'll just say dogs dot to sort, if you remember from the previous videos which we learned. So here we have the A and B condition here. So here the sort is, just to recap, if we return a negative value, then A will appear before B, and if we return a positive value, then A will appear after B, and if we return a 0, then nothing happens. So this will stay in the same place. And also one nice trick that we can use here is just to subtract one value from another for the ascending and descending way to sort an array. So what we'll just do here is, we'll just say a dot recfoot minus b dot recfoot. So in this condition, we are just giving here this as the ascending order in this here, and simply we'll just go ahead and console.log dogs sorted. As you can see here, we got the output here. So here we got everything in the ascending order, as you can see here. So what happens here is, in this A initial, for suppose you are taking the value 100, and B here you are suppose taking here it is the 200. So 100 minus 200, it will become the negative value of minus 100, right? So then if we return a negative value, then A will appear before B. So that is why here it is giving in the descending order. For suppose if you are giving here the same value with, if you want it in the descending order, we'll just pass B, and then here we'll just say. So if we are giving the same values for suppose 100 and 200, so here it is 200 and minus 100, it will become the positive value of 100. So if we return a positive value, then A will appear after B. So then when we run this, here we get the ascending order, as you can see here. Okay, so but in our question it just asked here for the, so I'm just keeping here in the. So with this we are done with our coding challenge number 5, and also we are done with this session. So that's it for this video.